It's been a while since I smile, like to walk down the aisle. My heart beats like that of a child, and I play with guns like turnstiles, hoping they don't go off. Because if so, well, that's my ass getting nailed like Jesus the cross. Landmines clear warpath. Hands of time refuse small talk. This is yours if you're not afraid to walk. And like a pup, I was afraid to bark, afraid of them eyes in the dark. Lonely roads make a weary heart. Food for thought. White chalk make life dark like cake walk. I take my cape off. Words play off. Now back to my chaos like triage. Leave you beeping soft. I'm Charles in charge. They're still wondering who's the boss.
Welcome to the Smokin' Rhyme Show.
What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do? What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do? Let's talk about it, the problems we face. Let's fight hatred, no time to waste. The mind is naked, we can see it without an x-ray. Life is easy if we work together. We're the keepers, we're the people, we're all equal, filled with purpose. The past has pain, it'll drive you, even make you take aim. But together is where we should aim. Together is where we should. What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do?
Welcome to the Smokin' Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
We on the mic every week with poetry.
Music and that cannabis talk.
Happy New Year, brother.
Yeah, it is a new year, ain't it, huh?
It is, man.
Dirty 23.
23.
Jordan year.
The year to Jordan.
You gotta be a champion or what?
Well, I guess that's what it is. If you're working on your third ring, or you're working on your first ring, maybe your sixth.
Yeah, I'm working on my 6th or 7th.
Okay. I can see that.
I've had multiple championship years.
Yeah, I hear you there. I've only had one, but I'm trying to get number 2. You know, hopefully I'm not one and done.
Yeah, well, you know what it is. Everybody's championship is different.
Yeah, for sure. So how's things been, man, since we last been on air? We got a lot to cover, but you know, how you doing? How did you turn in breaking the new year and all that fun stuff?
I do what I usually do. Work. So, you know, Christmas, New Year's, I worked.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it is what it is.
just grinding, huh?
Yeah. I mean, besides some change in eating habits and drinking habits, you know, everything's pretty much the same.
Okay,
I made sure I started working out before the new year, so I didn't need no resolution.
got you.
Just need to maintain.
Okay,
So, you know, I'm getting it in.
all right, no doubt. We like that.
No major changes to the new year.
No major, just continuation of last year.
Yes, last year was a banner year, but I wish I could have did more. And I'm going to make that happen. So, you know.
I feel you there. Yeah, banner year, huh?
Always pushing to move forward. And, hey, if I'm trying to do even better. So, I mean, I'm pushing.
All right, that's all we can do. You know, salt and pepper, baby.
Push it.
That's all we can do, man. That's all we can do in life in general. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You know, a lot of things have happened this year, and we're going to touch on that. And the year just started. That's the crazy part about it. The year just started, and a lot of big news and news that a lot of people don't talk about as well. But we're going to get the show rolling. I mean, I think it's fitting to start with this one right here.
Yes, sir.
in the new year, because we all got to find our place in life, and sometimes you just got to believe in a higher being. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
This is Gregory representing for Rexy45 and Big E. With Smokin rhymes. Whoa, whoa, yeah. And I want to talk to you, about life. Don't run away from pressure. Pressure is what makes diamonds. You best believe me. So when you feel like giving up, feel like you're turning back, when the pressure take your shoulder, well, call on Jah. So when you feel like giving up, oh no, whoa, yeah. When I wake up in the morning and I go black a reference, give thanks to Rastafari, all the meds in me events, yes. Love and respect to my neighbor. Negativity no make sense. And what you road them where you trick when you're treading on. Oh no. You know said the road is rough. We know said the road is tough, but still. So when you feel like smoking rhymes, none turn back. Call on Jah. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Oh no. Call on Jah. I shoulda know you know. Whoa. I shouldn't have to tell you that if you live good, then life will be good to you. Ooh, yeah. Anytime you treat life bad, don't say I hug you when you get your feedback. Ooh, boy. When you feel like giving up, feel like you're turning back, when the pressure take your shoulders, well, call on Jah. When you feel like giving up, feel like you're turning back, oh no. Within the eye is the presence of the Almighty. Nobody think of my thing. Nobody think through you big, bad and mighty. If you do what you please, everybody a go like it. No. And you say be good to your neighbors, yes. I want you to know, my friend, Rexy45, now they are Sophie Barron Arlen, love. When you feel like giving up, and when you feel like you're turning back, and when the pressure take your shoulders, smoking rhymes if you call on Jah. Call on Jah. Call on Jah. Whoa, no. Ooh.
Yo, it's your boy Tax. You tuned into the Smokin Rhyme Show with Rexy45 and Big E. You heard? Tax forever.
Struggling again. It's a garrison. Silverdos, Emperor,
Dub Easy, UBM, taking over, 2010, 2020, 2030.
Check it. One peace, one heart, one love. Together we stand, divide we shall fall. There seems to be no more love in this land, in this world. One peace, one heart, one love. Together we stand, divide we shall fall. There seems to be no more love in this land, in this world. Don't let me get to starvation. Use them can't even beat man. Oh, what a sufferization. This is just a mass destruction from the people in our nation. Politicians, them a deal with corruption. With them hatred, crimes and confusion. Just the roasting release all the youth from
choir. They say praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. So I must be aware of the evil recognition. With them Babylonian, me no want no relation. Fire burn the mind of politician. They get to use the
Biggest music.
Hey, yo, big girls. Them say we got freedom of speech, but not freedom after speech. I coach. Every time.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's Infinite the Ghost, and you're listening to Smokin Rhymes with Rex 45 and Big E. Yo, it's Infinite the Ghost. Get your lighters. You're listening to Smokin Rhymes with Rex 45 and Big E.
Biggest music.
Hey, yo, big girls. Them say we got freedom of speech, but not freedom after speech. I coach. Every time. Give me freedom. Choose my destiny. Give me freedom. Now still my liberty. Give me freedom. You are your remedy. Give me freedom. Freedom. No classify me under your rule. Your education under your school. Long time you take we fear fool and make the ghetto use Babylon a footstool. Long time you are put in a China. In this time you are put it in a brain. So many ghetto use taking container. Lion you can't tame. Give me freedom. Choose my destiny. Give me freedom. Now still my liberty. Give me freedom. You are your remedy. Give me freedom. Freedom. Babylon, we can't take no more. You're always on the streets to victimize the poor. You now bring justice when you declare your law. But people cannot ignore. Me tell you so.
Hey, what's up? I'm Chanel Kazadi, and you're listening to Smokin Rhyme Show with Rex 45 and Big E. Let's get it!
It's mind over matter. My mind decides what matters, and then my ignorance shatters to a million pieces. Me, I would rather listen to children than preachers. In fact, children are our greatest teachers. Pure innocence in the form of creatures free from the domestication of the rest of the nation. Their mind state is pure, free from the so-called rules that would blur our vision. In fact, culture and law are our prison. They prevent the true you from living in this moment of now. Some think in time, but how? A second does not exist. Just like ignorance is not bliss. So stop ignoring, 'cause sleeping is boring. Sleeping is boring, and half of these people are storming. That's why we still call. That's why we still warring, killing our mother, the earth. The land that fertilized the birth of man. From dirt and sand, life expand like lightning, man. I used to think life was frightening and creepy, but that was when my inner sage was sleepy. Now I sit with shamans in my teepee, where my mind is my TV. It lets me see how divine we be. When I read and dream, my mind expand beyond time and land, and I find my mind is grand and design my hand so I can grasp reality. Created sexuality just for duality. Death. So I could appreciate immortality. See, life is a kernel. A seed, much like a kernel. When you learn it expand like popcorn and you and I verse. One word started it all. Just think in reverse. And see that one thought was there first.
You're listening to the Smokin' Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
What's going on, man?
Well, you know, as the seasons change.
Mm-hmm. We are in winter now, the dead of winter up here in Boston.
Well, we had a mild patch, so, you know, we can't complain. Holidays was super warm.
Okay.
50s,
So,
close to 60.
gotcha. Yeah, December was cold, though.
Yeah, well,
Bricktop.
it gives and it takes. Well,
Mother
to
Na-
Boston.
Mother Nature. Yeah, listen, even the whole country was on a freeze. Snowed in Miami. You know.
Well, I figure if any one of these snowstorm or rain events we had was back with some cold,
Mm-hmm.
we'd have been shoveling and doing all that over here. So thank you for holding off. I ain't in no rush to shovel.
No.
I ain't even check and see if the snowblower starts on the first pull.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? These are things you're supposed to know coming into the season.
Mhm.
I didn't even put snow tires on the car yet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're living on the edge, Big E.
Well, you know, when you got 4-wheel drive, you be bold.
Will you?
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of bold, it was Jeremy Reynolds. He has a snowcat. You know what a snowcat is?
Yes, I do.
A snowcat is a baby caterpillar, essentially.
Big tread.
Big tread. And I've done this not on a snowcat. I've done this in a couple of cars.
For all those who don't know who he was a star of what was it, Hawkeye?
Hawkeye, the Marvel
Eagle Eye?
series,
Eagle
and
Eye,
he was in some of the Avengers, and he's done some other, not the Born Identity.
He was in,
he was
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
I think he was in Born Identity.
No, the spinoff,
Born
something
Ultimatum or whatever.
Yeah. It was, I can't remember the name of it.
There's 30 of them.
Yeah, but you know, he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah, well, I heard he damn near bled to death. Ran himself over.
Yeah, he ran himself over. and I was going to say, like, I've done this before, not run myself over. But, you know, hop out
Run
of a vehicle.
myself over all the time.
Hop out of a vehicle and have it in drive still. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well.
Yeah, so he hopped out and was still in drive, and then he tried to hop back in.
Well, once you hop out, the tread's right there.
Yeah. You got to dive in. You can't step on a tread. So he might have stepped on a tread and got, sucked in. Because, you can't. That's the difference. If it was a car, if it was no wheel or tread next to him or a platform he can jump on, he probably would have been okay.
Yeah. I hear he's
I mean, he's going to be okay, but he ran himself over with caterpillar tires, no wheel or whatever they call it, tracks.
This seems like that's the theme going on. There's a lot of people getting hurt lately, just for no reason. Kent Block passed away.
Yeah, man, that one kind of rocked my world a little bit.
I believe it was a snowmobiling accident.
Yeah, and I came across Ken Block when he first started, and I never knew he was co-owner or co-founder of DC Shoes. Honestly, until I didn't know about it until his death, and that's a whole different thing. But I came across him from, I'm a car guy, I'm a motorcycle guy, but I'm a car guy first. And I came across him many moons ago when he was first, ripping up, doing something that no one else was doing in cars.
He was just a rich dude driving around crazy.
Yeah, well, I don't know how rich he was.
He said he was well off. He said he was already rich before all of this started.
Yeah, well, because of the DC shoe thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't you know what I mean? I didn't know all that. So he already had the funds because he started that like in '84 or something like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like early '80s. You know what I mean? Because even the dude from Ridiculous, he's like
Rob Deerdeck.
he rocks DC. He's been rocking DC forever from skateboarding days.
Well, I'm pretty sure he has a contract, of course. and
Yeah,
his
right.
own-
Yeah. That's what
his
I'm
own
saying.
signature line, of course.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the dude is making paper, so there's no reason why he couldn't just be building these ridiculous cars. But also, it's he has he has some kids, and his daughter is a beast. And so there's connection because like my youngest, she's a beast, and we're very similar, and so it's just like to see that. And they were so close, and she now races rally and stuff like that. And at 14, she was racing a 1,400 horsepower car, like and winning. At age 14, I mean, I was fast at 16, 17, but so that whole thing is, it's never a good look. I mean, he was doing something he loved. So when you're doing something you love, these things happen, accidents happen, and it's unfortunate. But that one definitely rocked me, man.
Yeah, definitely. A big fan of his. A lot of his content is amazing. So the reality is when you live on the edge, you like that fast life. That's always a possibility.
Yeah. And
or you could slip in the bathroom on a bar of soap, break your neck, and die anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, choose your way.
Exactly. Sometimes it's chosen for you, bro. Right. And it's interesting, that you say that because there's like the NFL. Everybody knows about the guy in for the Buffalo Bills that collapsed on the field.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And there was an ex-football player, commentator dude, kind of loud dude. I don't, they kind of, we've been doing this thing for so long, and we're not gonna get on a mic and just start, saying salacious things and over the top things and things just to get people pissed off for no reason whatsoever.
The fact that you said salacious is already pissing some people off. How dare he use the dictionary up in here?
Right, for real. And what he said was saying, no athlete signs up for this, right? And
but he acts like it was something amazing. It was just he caught the shoulder in his chest on the tackle.
Yeah.
No, he tackled him. He needs to change the way he tackles then.
But he meant more about putting his life on the line. No athlete signs up for putting their life on you.
All athletes do.
Exactly. And that's my point. That was when I heard that I was like, what? Like I raced a motorcycle.
I'm hitting people with my head.
Yeah.
What you thought I was trying to be safe? What? Or I get punched in the face for a living. What are you talking about?
Listen.
Every athlete put his life on the line every single night, diving out of bounds at catches, diving at people to make tackles. People do. Come on, man, you sound stupid.
That's my point. That's my point. He's just saying that just to. I don't know why he's saying it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know.
To create a buzz, but you know what it is. Good or bad press is always good.
Because there are folks that said the game should have continued, right? And it's crazy.
How could they? They were on the field for how long trying to resuscitate this man?
Here's the thing. So I come from racing motorcycles, and if there's a death on the track, and I have been on tracks and at race weekends when there have been deaths. Unfortunately, it's not a good look. I mean, there's lots of injuries sometimes, and people got to wait to get a helicopter to come in and med lift, or you got to wait for ambulances to come back. So you could have an hour and a half, 2 hours before you can go back and race. But in the motorcycle world, and this is where my mind is linked, because if there's a death, then there's no more races for the day, and it's not because the person died, which sounds effed up.
But it's the point that it's in everybody's mind.
Yeah, let me finish. It's more that, the police officers have to do an investigation because there's a death. And so that's why it's canceled. People jack themselves up. Football players get carted off the field. If there's 10 games on that weekend, there's one person getting carted off the field, right, for some injury or limping off the field. In motorcycle racing, that happens. In basketball, that happens. And the game still continues.
It's a difference of whether when he goes out, he's giving you the thumbs up, or he's laying there motionless and can't move. So, I mean, there's been a lot of people who had spinal injuries. There was the Pittsburgh player who he had the spinal injury. That game continued. They didn't stop it. I mean, but a person passing away on the field and being resuscitated, that's major. Plus, it really hit his team hard.
Well, yeah, but and again, I go back to motorcycle racing. When you look, I've been on the track, and in turn one, you see asses and elbows and somebody's getting carted off. You got to put your mind, you got to get your mind back out right and go out. If people who watch MotoGP, they saw the accident with Zarco and Morbidelli, and bikes went flying and almost hit Rossi and Vinales, and them dudes came in like shaking, right? And then an hour later, they out there still running on the line. That and you hear that with football players that get jacked up, and I say football meaning soccer football, and go out there and still play. I'm not saying these NFL football players are soft or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But these things happen like that. Like there's people in the stands that pass away and they get carted out, and this game still goes on. There's people. This is that. That's like people getting injured and hurt, and people seeing that. And that happens all the time. We're all adults, and we've all hear horrible stories. There's a war in the Ukraine. I mean, nobody's getting up when they get killed. You know what I'm saying? It's like okay,
if they're getting killed,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's some people acting like, oh, all of a sudden, like we can't see this or anything. Like these things ain't happening in Chicago every weekend. People like, there's kids seeing kids getting killed. There's some of these football players that seen their homies got killed growing up. You know what I'm saying? So,
like I said, you choose your method of death. Do you die in these streets?
But you know what I'm saying, though? So it's like, and there's people that's buried their mamas, their brothers, their cousins, their best friends, whomever, and go play a football game, a basketball game, a soccer game the next day, right? They don't get time off. You know what I'm saying? And so
what's your point? You're saying that they shouldn't have stopped the game?
Yeah, I think they should have continued playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think his teammates could have.
Well, that's on them. But that's the thing. That's on them. Like, listen, I with motorcycle racing, there's times I've seen some things and I'm like, I'm not going out there, and I take a L for the day. I don't get a do over because the whole race doesn't get a do over because my mind isn't right. You see what I'm saying?
Just for the record, I would like y'all to cancel the game if I die, please. If you don't mind.
Well, again, he was resuscitated, so he didn't die. He was gone for a moment
they
in
said
time.
They worked on him for 9 minutes.
Okay, fine. I get
That's
that.
a long time for your teammates to see them sitting there working on you. They all was blocking the cameras from seeing it, so they stood there and it was just traumatizing.
I listen.
Half of them young dudes don't got control over their emotions as it is.
So what you're telling me is this: that them seeing a player getting hurt, you seen wait,
one of their brothers getting hurt.
Well, they seen one of their brothers getting hurt, right, on the field. But they, like I said,
bro, if I see you get hurt, I'm not playing no more.
Then right. But I don't think they should. But I don't think they should stop the game because your mind isn't right. It sounds cold, but like I said, in motorcycle racing, like if you can't come out there for whatever reason, that's on you.
Nobody's the difference between an individual sport and a team sport.
I understand that. When you think of a team sport, you'd have more support. You got your brothers to lean on. In motorcycle racing, in tennis, in golf, or any individual sport, you got nobody. Once.
But if in that sport, if you don't want to race, you just don't.
Yeah, I hear you. That's what I'm saying.
The whole team doesn't have to not race.
Yeah, right. The players that didn't want to play, they could have just not played. But I'm pretty sure.
Then if it was half the team, then you
take an L. You take an L.
Okay.
That's it. You take an L. Who out of two teams who want to continue playing? And if neither one want to take a team, then it's a draw, and they go on because at the end of the day, that makes sense. And again, I'm coming from individual sport, but again, these players have seen people died, and they still went out and did stuff the next day. This is not nothing, and these other people aren't coming back. This dude got good.
Man, I don't think I want to be the dude that was like, yeah, I went out there and played, and my man passed away while I was out here on the field.
Allen Iverson, that whole practice thing, right? That whole practice thing came about because his boy died, and he didn't practice that day, And yet he went out there and played ridiculous, but people were asking him why he didn't practice, and he was more pissed because his so this is happened.
Practice?
You know, Michael Jordan's father died, and he went out and played.
He took a whole year off though.
No,
that's when he retired.
After
Pop died.
after winning the third, right? But I'm just saying he didn't retire after his father died. He played the rest of the year. You know, and this happened in motorsports all the time. You know, and so all I'm just saying is it's shocking.
Everyone does the joint different.
Yeah,
Everybody's rules is different. You know, if that's what they want to do.
If listen, man, if it's what I think it is, it's the people on the other side of the cameras. It's not the players on the field, because again, individually, people have had losses and they still had to come out and play. And if they didn't come out and play, they wouldn't have a job. And that's facts, bro. So it's not like all of a sudden the NFL cares like that. You're listening to the Smokin' Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
Let's get into some music and some good vibes.
Yeah, Dad, roll them off the field.
Okay. All right, oh yes. And Mr. Ice representing. Oh yeah. And when you walk the road of life, me I tell you, my friend, good vibes only. Positive liberty to survive, me tell you again, good vibes only. And though the road is rough, don't let it keep you down. And your good vibes only. Now them will fight you down. Wanna see you reach the ground. I say your good vibes only.
Time to flex, took a trip again. Got these crabs in my city, so I'm eating lobster then. Roll a stove, watch it boat with my yoke, mobbing it like the patience to be waiting. So just get up on your win like chess. Win them checks, make your moves, no regrets. Your whole crew full of goof, pull my dick. Cheese and wine, cute in time of violence. Why, oh man? Why do y'all still guessing? I be out here finessing. I'm living my life, no stressing. And I don't got time for the lectures. So don't pass me no scriptures. Really, I don't need no lessons. Really, I just work perfection. Really, aiming at your neck, hammers cock. Take your last breath, stop, save your work, go your way. We ain't got no pots, you can front. But it's good vibes only. Catch me in the cut, rolling up.
Well, you let me know. Them sing your club, just on the roll and I put fear in them. Them used to call me, you know we know hear them again. They come and talk about friend and I pretend them, I pretend because them only come around when time we have money to spend. Them here we talk, them they one side a laugh. But a true is when we dark, them a bark. We make them know so we no trust no shadow after dark. Because them can't put a foot where we walk.
I'ma tell you a little something about this side. Yeah, coming live from the east side. Head up, but I got my threes high. Cold shade, I'm on a tree high. Y'all steady snapping your whole life. Talent, but you got no life. Free doom, you got no rights. And my mind's left, but I know rights. I'm off the shit. Really with it, I sips tea, ribbit. I got the flip and I wrote the script and my words depict that I really get it. Just forget it, you slacking. If this a test, then who passing? My life's a blunt, I ain't passing. So don't kill my vibe, I'm spazzing. I think and acting don't chat. Y'all don't think and don't act. Y'all spend your rent on cold racks. It's what I know, I quote facts. Yo, she's a hoe facts. And I'm getting throw back. Yo, shut the time, I throw pass. I touch it down, no pass. No funny-ish, no Debbie Dallas, no bunny-ish. Don't come around with those negatives, cause I Bruce Lee, child niggas quit. Man, you ain't slick, try to sniff around like you ain't Rick. You think you know, but don't mind this. To whom it may concern, time, let's not rewind this.
And when you walk the road of life, yeah. I tell you, my friend, good vibes only. Positive liberty to survive, me tell you again. Good vibes only.
Yeah, Giorgio, Paco Rabanne, Versace, Dolce, Prada. I smell like money. I love my color, yeah, I love my color, yeah. I love my color, yeah, I love my color, yeah, yeah, yeah. Rex 45 told me pull up in the back. Big EB 87 where it's at. I love my color, yeah, I love my color, yeah, yeah, yeah. I love my color, yeah, I love my color, yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby, rub me in that cocoa butter, yeah, yeah, yeah. All of my brothers love my color, yeah, yeah. Well educated, well celebrated. Got that black skin and all that's melanated. I'm hella faded, fresh deposit in the bank and you can smell the fragrance. Smell like money, baby. Dolce on my collarbone, hot a box on my cell phone. Wrist shining like heaven's door. If you never knew, then you never know. Watch what you're talking, is y'all crazy? I got knots in my head, dude. Cool in the pocket, I'm Tom Brady. Fourth quarter like I'm Isaiah. I'm a Jamaican that speaking Spanish, eating Ethiopian with the team. Plus I be hanging with people that's blacker than black and black and they black as me. Freelance, know how to dance, bachata with Dominicans. BT, no ETs, like I just moved out of DC. I love my color, yeah, I love my color, yeah. I love my color, yeah, I love my color, yeah, yeah, yeah. Rex 45 told me pull up in the back. Big EB 87 where it's at.
The agent.
Young, black, and witty as so you can join in the club. Pushing they luck, my niggas 40 it up. Ridiculed by niggas 40 and up. Time's up now, surely it's us.
The agent.
Young, black, and witty as so you can join in the club. Pushing they luck, my niggas 40 it up. Ridiculed by niggas 40 and up. Time's up now, surely it's us. Time ticket to the album drop. Euro with the bread like a hero with the fixes. DMT flipping with the arms like I'm Nero. Shot like Rick Fox when I parlay with the Vixens. Breaking like turbo at the shop with the broomstick. Mitigate the 8 balls pushing by the pool stick. Dash like Stacy with the cash, got him clueless. Cherry on top, I can do without the cool whip. Born in mid-May, I can do without the bull. Nuba with your niggas went and pulled. Stick to the cool. Still bound by unspoken rules. Your lanes ain't tough, y'all approachable. Don't let this game get the best of you. School of hard knocks and they testing you. They don't want these problems, I don't expect them to. Beef and brock, I turn to vegetables. I turn to vegetables. Don't let this game get the best of you. They don't want these problems, I don't expect them to. Beef and brock, I turn to vegetables. Gotta kill the game, moving at my tempo. Gotta stop drinking, thinking to ease my mental. Malcolm with the rifle pointed out the window. Think it's so simple, let me remind you that my flow's so cold. My mind is a full logo. Out of state trips, you to a local. Sure hope you get the message when we send it to you. Sometimes they gotta hit your mans when we meant it for you. Suited up, we attending the Oscars. Pot stickers and lobster, we eating gravy. All of us authentic, so they rock with us. Blaine, I hate y'all like swastikas. Wouldn't you like to be like us? Eat like us, speak like us, think like us, get money with us. Been through hell and back, so we ride together. Birds of a feather, so we fly together. Don't let this game get the best of you. School of hard knocks and they testing you. They don't want these problems, I don't expect them to. Beef and brock, I turn to vegetables. I turn to vegetables. Don't let this game get the best of you. They don't want these problems, I don't expect them to. Beef and brock, I turn to vegetables.
Salut tout le monde, vous êtes branchés sur Smokin Rhymes avec Rexy 45 et Biggie. Et cette prochaine chanson est une première mondiale. Je suis sûr que vous allez vous régaler.
Despite all the time I spent growing up in them, churches never brought me any closer to God. My prayers felt more like habitual recitation rather than genuine conversation. I could never tell if God was listening or if my words were just reflecting across empty corridors. I feel like I'm the only one in my family who's so uncertain, and I still remember that jealousy in my chest every time my little cousin would say grace because of the pride my dad had and how strong her faith was, or maybe because someone was so confident in a being I've long stopped searching for, but I found my temple in a canopy. Branches lift my spirit far closer to paradise than baptisms ever could. I don't know much about conversations with God, but I spent days of my life talking to a tree. or singing to one, or reciting poetry. Regardless, I just wanted someone who would listen. Most kids wanted to talk to animals growing up, but I wanted to talk to trees. More accurately, I wish they could talk back, because in them, I find the sacredness I've been searching for in God the past 19 years. I find a sanctuary to be lost in, history wedged between rings, history I may become a part of, and no, there is no metaphor to be made here about black boys found hanging in trees. If there is a metaphor, it's one of a black boy who's found himself through gnarled roots, or one of a boy with foundation so vast that it would take devastation of biblical proportion to have a chance at shaking his resolve. I don't know much about God, but I know that I found holiness underneath these leaves that capture sunlight and transform it into sustenance beneath these towers, home to 8-legged architects that spin webs masterfully enough to suspend rain and time as it falls to the earth's surface, the greatest of observers watching a civilization swell and decay in their wake. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but that's why all the questions I have, the answers would have to come from a tree. For trees, there's no room for ambition, no need to change or impress anyone else, no hope to travel this earth. So I ask, what is the meaning of life to a being incapable of action? Maybe their only aspiration is to provide for others, offering refuge, shelter, protection, even long after our greed has left them nothing more than a stump above ground to rest our weary bodies. Look, I know I might be wrong, that this bark may just be a well-disguised mirror distorting my thoughts just long enough for me to recognize them as foreign, but the whole point of faith is believing despite all those possibilities, and I finally found my temple worth praying to. 3 weeks ago, I climbed my favorite tree higher than I ever have before, and I thought to myself, if this is the closest I get to God, then that's enough. I laid back against the branches, said, I don't know if you can hear me right now, but thank you. I looked up and just stared at the moon.
Hot 87 gave me a reason to smoke rhymes. Come dope like I snort lines. Listen on the West Coast at 8. Then you straight Midwest, the show starts at 9. 10 in Eastern time for ill hip-hop and spoken word on beats. Hot 87 FM, the hottest spoken word on the streets. How I know I watched it, got my music played last week. Didn't know that it really occurred that deep. Weed podcast with Rex 45 Big E. Got me stretching lime inside brown whiteout sheets. Got me dirty kicking rhymes like soccer cleats. I trained for this, plus I got the proper sleep. For every Monday to tune in the boss's airways. Whack MCs, a box and karate chop your airways. I'm lethal, and there's poison in my pen. Wanna hear more of me? Then change the frequency on your radio and tune in. Cause to miss a show like this is a goddamn sin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Roll, light, smoke, hands, roll, light, smoke, hands, roll, light, smoke, hands, roll, light, smoke. Break the Spanish down in my rollie and I'm scrolling it up. We put the whole 7 in it, you ain't holding it up. Hitting 12 in the lane while we sparking it up. Rexy 45 and Big E, soon the city show up. But the city been waiting, we been cooking and baking, planning, putting that cake in, plotting, moving and shaking. LeBron, Steph Curry with the rock, shake the pot. There's some big boss cannabis talk, cultural elevation.
Ain't no telling where we taking this thing from here. It's 420 in this world somewhere. Outside, say rolling it up. Up north, stay rolling it up. What's up? Ain't no telling where we taking this thing from here. If you feeling me, put one in. West side, stay rolling it up. East coast, stay rolling it up. What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Welcome to the Pot Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Roll one, smoke one. I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but take my advice. So anyway, It's a new year. We got new things popping on the East Coast, which I feel like, since California and Oregon and all those places pretty much cover the whole West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
In order for us to do the East Coast, we have to have a collabo. And we're working on it.
Okay.
Because New York, of course, just opened their very first adult use cannabis store.
It took them so long.
Yeah, well, they used to be cutting edge. Now they are sitting in the back run by the rich people.
We love New York. See you in a couple of days.
Yeah, so, they had a DJ playing as their customers stood in line.
Okay.
The name of the place is Housing Works Cannabis Co.
Okay.
So, you know.
Do we know who the owners are?
No, we don't at this point in time.
Okay.
But it can be looked into. But, you know, when we're talking about cannabis and how they're saying it's supposed to be equity in the business, and we're trying to put people who are adversely affected first. Yeah, I don't see that. I see a lot of rich people getting richer as usual. But
tell us how you feel about that, Big E.
No, I'm not. I'm not the soapboxer.
What are you trying to say? Listen,
I'm just stating the facts.
You know.
And the facts is that people that it mostly impacted are being phased out,
right?
And those who have money are just prospering.
Sounds like a soapbox to me. E.
No, those are the facts. I'm telling you what the facts are.
That's what usually happens in a soapbox.
You state facts? No, usually personal. It's
personal. You know, back in the day, soapboxes, you know, somebody would get a box and stand on in the middle of a square.
Oh, yeah. I assume that's what get on your soapbox means.
You know what I'm saying? So they were letting the public know.
All right, let everybody know your age. You're only a year older than me. Acting like I don't remember that time, too.
I was talking to the audience, Big E. I was informing our younger audience members that may not know that, man. I didn't assume you didn't.
Y'all better talk to your great-grandmother, because your grandmother's probably only 50. but anyway. Well, you know, we doing this East Coast thing, so we trying to get it all lined up. Connecticut as well is getting ready to start their adult use. They're supposed to open their first stores as well. So we already know where Rhode Island stands. We already know where Mass stands. We already know where Vermont stands.
Right.
So, I mean, we're doing the East Coast thing. I'm not sure that the South is going to jump right in line, but, you know, when it comes to the Virginias and the Carolinas there's no telling where that's going to go.
I mean, you start at D.C., you got Jersey, I guess now New York and Connecticut is forming a line, so you know you can get bud in every place. You know, the taxes I still have issues with. I have a lot of issues with taxes.
For an eighth and some CBD gummies, they're running about $100 in New York right now.
Wow, an eighth.
Yeah.
The black market ain't going away.
No, definitely not. I feel like that's their plan.
And I hate to call it black market, but you know what it is.
But I feel like that's their plan.
I'll find another word.
We're including you guys because we're making this ridiculous, but we're not going to harass you unless you're moving big weight. So everybody can get a piece.
Yeah. That's not a piece at $100. That's not a piece.
Yeah, well, if I'm selling mine at 80.
For an eighth?
And I could come by your house.
For an eighth?
Yes. I mean, that's the market. If they got it marked up, you mark down.
Listen, man, if New York is paying $100 for an eighth, I need to open a business in New York.
I remember at a time that people were paying $120, $30 plus for it.
Dude, an eighth in the dispensaries are here like $50.
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, some good bud might be like $65. So $100, and
I'm pretty sure it's like $40 tax.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. Like the taxes is absurd, and across the country, and we the people. Let me get on this box right here. It's actually,
see, there we go. Here we go. This
put my feet up on the box.
When it's personal, we the people.
It's not personal because, you know, full disclosure, I have a medical card and I pay no taxes in Mass because with a medical card you don't pay taxes on bud.
Yes, it's something wrong with him.
So yeah, for sure, I got problems, and so I recommend everybody to get a medical card and not pay tax. You know, I know some jobs, you know,
but I mean that's a little bit of protection.
It is protection because you still got the medical act. It's not called the medical act, but you're protected just like any other illness you have or any other prescriptions you take in. You're protected. Granted, if you're driving and doing heavy machinery stuff, like those laws still apply to marijuana as they would to any other prescription.
Well, when I run for president,
you know what I mean?
I'm going to run the platform that self-medicate. You should choose what you put in your body. So, I mean, you're going to prescribe me or can I just take this? Because your drug is expensive, but this crack is $10.
Exactly. So my point is, like,
Not suggesting you do crack.
Get a medical card if your foot hurts. I mean, if your back hurts. If
Everybody's got something. Wrong. I can't sleep at night. I got a bad stomach, bad back. They got something for everything.
And don't pay tax. Honestly,
what are the price ranges for the cards?
Well, so here's the thing, right? Your primary care physician in Massachusetts should recommend you to someone, but some of these primary cares, they have their own ethical things they want to. They got their own morals that they want to say. I don't feel comfortable signing up. So
still stuck on the Nancy Reagan. Don't
exactly.
do drugs.
So you can go find another primary care doctor that will, or you have doctors that just do that, and it could, fees could be as high as $200. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna smoke more than $200 as a taxes,
if you're gonna,
it's a no-brainer.
If you're gonna purchase all year,
yeah,
$200 is the minimum tax you're gonna pay.
Minimal. And
I dropped 40 just last week for no reason.
So and that's the issue. But I say go back to saying we the people. Like, okay, now you got the stores open. Now you got to go after these politicians to get these taxes lower, because a lot of these taxes. I mean, I think you reported on one of the show that in Chicago, in Illinois, the taxes went to the police department. Now, trust me, I love the police department. I'm not going to say anything but the police department's locked a lot of people up for weed. So why not go to the schools and all these other places before the police department? They're already making their money because they're getting their taxes anyway. You know what I'm saying? And which is, I mean, no, nothing wrong with getting your tax. Nothing wrong with getting money from taxes that we pay, but you're here to serve we the people.
Definitely.
So, you know what I mean? It's not my tax dollar in Chicago's case, but in Massachusetts and in federal, it's our tax dollars that are going to a whole lot.
Well, I'll be definitely upset if you serve a warrant to the wrong address and you use a military truck that my money bought to ram my front door down.
Yeah,
you know
what I mean.
I have a problem with that.
That's what it comes down to, and we need to recognize that. So, I'm not a fan of the high taxes. Son. And because it doesn't need to be, you know what I'm saying? Because for so long they've fought against having, weed legal or even just to have it. It's crazy that we're doing it now. I remember, going to New York in the early 2000s and walking around Manhattan.
Whoa, don't be dating. Just tell the story.
Yeah, I mean, it's 20 years has passed. You know what I mean?
And some camera got it somewhere.
And people weren't comfortable with smoking outside. You know what I'm saying? People were not, and people were looking at me like I'm crazy, and maybe I am. I've smoked in a lot of places outside. I've gotten kicked out of clubs for smoking. I
got sniffed up at the Guggenheim.
You know what I'm saying? My motto is, if I was at the White House, I'm burning. That's you know what I mean? I'm not. that's me. And you know what I mean? But to see where we've come and to think about how many people have gotten locked up. You know what I'm saying? For in jail currently for still marijuana possession. Granted, it might be some serious pounds or whatever the case may be, but nonetheless, it's something that grows naturally. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why it's illegal was just to stop the Mexicans from coming to this country back in the early 1900s. It's ridiculous. And then in the 70s or early 60s or whatever, they use it as a means to lock up black folks, essentially, because smoking weed, and since it was a class, what is a class D or whatever it is, with all the big narcotics, they got lumped into that. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Nancy Reagan, down your throat, with all the anti stuff.
Yeah, but just before, we know Connecticut's about to go to their full adult use sales. They expunge 43,000 marijuana records automatically.
Right.
You don't have to file for no paperwork, which is stupid. Why would you? All you got to do is come down here. Now, why are you making people just expunge? Just knock it off. Send them a letter. This has been taken off your record.
Right.
No, let me fill out this paperwork to get this process started. You're making stuff too hard.
Yeah.
If you're expunging it, just expunge it. So they said automatically 43,000. There's a bunch of people breathing a sigh of relief. Because sometimes that pops up no matter what you're trying to do. You're trying to do something major, that's on your record.
Correct. So we have to get on our soapbox and we have to, once it's in place, we got to press these politicians or find folks that want to run for office, and that's going to, make this. And it's difficult because, you're competing against corporations with trillions of dollars. and trying to buy them same politicians. And so this is where it gets tricky. And you see all these politicians that's coming to Congress and coming to these jobs, and they start to do the whole switcheroo and dodging the shoe bit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to George Bush Jr.
Hey, look, if I was in office, the first thing I would do is everybody who's arrested for sales of marijuana, I would give them tax ID numbers and let them out of jail.
Yeah. No, for
Here
sure.
you go. Do it legally. Pay your taxes. If you don't pay your taxes, that's a different story.
Right.
You know, if the government don't get theirs,
Right.
you going to jail.
Because what the politicians have done with this thing is brought all the big, all the big money into the bud.
Only the rich people can do it.
You know, shout out to one person that got that got a cannabis shop. But if you ain't sitting on millions and you're not in mass, you're not getting a cannabis shop.
And even still, that's another thing that's brought up that I've been bringing up is that you open one cannabis shop, there's a million people trying to get into the business, but you allow this one cannabis shop to open multiple locations. You haven't even let other people get their first chance.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden there's a lock on. It just seems like a failed system, no matter what.
So
it's not made to prosper.
Right.
It's made to fall apart so that they can put more boards together. They
Exactly.
can pay for more reviews. If they want a review, tell them send the money to Smokin Rhymes. We will set your whole system. Just consult. Just put us down as consultants.
Yeah.
And we'll work this whole thing out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that complex. As
No.
a matter of fact, we'll smoke while we do it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. We trying to help you.
Right.
Help us help
Right.
you.
Well, they don't, and again, we'll go back to it. They don't want the help because they want the money. You know what I'm saying? And
A failed
and-
system makes more money than a system that runs smooth.
So the marijuana, the I don't even know, marijuana B side of things is gonna continue, and listen, people are always gonna get hookups and because the few that got the money that throw all the cost on doing everything, all the overhead costs and all the BS and the billions that they're making, there's always gonna be people looking to not pay all that. That's always going to happen. And there's going to be people that's going to provide that. That's going to say, look, I don't need to make what them are making. I'll make what I'm making. I can eat off of it, and I'm helping these people. Those kind of markets are always going to exist when you got the rich people. And I'm not knocking being rich, but like at the end of the day, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. At the end of the day, it's the people, and we make them. We give them that. We like, if we don't spend, they broke. They go broke. So, my name is Rex45.
Big E, you've kind of been expunging on that through every show for the last 12 episodes.
And I'm going to continue doing it.
We the people.
It is us. If we work together, nobody can stop us. As long as we're divided, and as long as, you see what's going on right now in the House of Representatives, as long as there's enough people that can divide us, we're always going to be at each other. When we recognize, like,
I tell you what, we can stay separate. Let's just come together real quick.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit.
For all the
and then
public
you can
things.
go your own way after we done.
What you do in your yard, your house, don't worry about it. I don't care. What I do in my house, I don't care. But we're in public places. We got to share this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And we need good roads. You know what I'm saying? We need fast trains. We need decent wages. We don't need to be gazillionaires. Listen, all the good books talk about not worshiping the money like that. You know what I'm saying? And you don't need it like that. You just need.
But remember that book was written by a rich guy to keep you from wanting to come get money. Of course,
But it's not the answer.
These riches ain't gonna help you.
But it's not the answer, because listen, Steve Jobs had all the money in the world. A lot of people got all the money in the world and off in themselves. It's not.
Money don't change the person inside you.
Well, some
but
people,
it makes other aspects of life.
But when you
easier,
when you don't have a lot of it, your imagination makes you believe you need a lot of it.
The majority of our time is spent worrying about our financial standing.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, people who have money get to focus on other messed up parts of their life.
And it's beautiful to have that goal. I'm not sitting here saying you shouldn't have aspirations to do whatever, because you need money to do a lot of things. If you want to race motorcycle, you need money to do it. It's hard that you're going to, unless you can, you know what I'm saying, unless you can mine your own resources and do all that. I'm not sitting here saying, and it's a way for us to barter and make this thing work around and all this. So not everybody walks a gun and taking everything from everyone, right? It makes sense. But the idea that you need to be a bazillionaire all the time. The idea that you need to be 10 million, that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's nice. But no, seriously, it's nice.
10
but
million is nice, but
it's not like being able to do the things you want to do and enjoying life is more important than how much money you have. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, have a goal to get some money. You know what I'm saying? And if you're fortunate enough to get a lot of money, awesome, great. But when you're a company and you're making billions of dollars quarterly, and there are people that are sleeping on the streets, there's a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all I'm just, like. So there has to be a medium for sure.
Most rich is from the blood of others.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like, you know, ridiculous.
All right, we're gonna shut the shut
right.
down. We're gonna end this the cafe, and he's gonna take his rant into some other stages of the show.
Ain't no space between the name and the area code. Shaheed Fofo. Homecoming. It is.
We got a gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Better not babysit, take a sip, with this. Gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Buzz flow, spit rhymes, hung on from my stone. We got a gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Better not babysit, take a sip, with this. Gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Buzz flow, spit rhymes, hung on from my stone.
Heard they search for kingdoms of Kush. Kinda got the keys crossed, cool. Caught her with the Chiefs, careful don't cough. Try to keep the people, please parlay monster pawns, cool. Carolina calm, pile of the farms, however they tongue, wherever. Carolina calm, pile of the farms, however they tongue, wherever you from. We on deli on, pass that back, wherever you done. In the city called mine, top billing from all crime, rebuilding them raw rhymes, man. Don't be the bond, you know the time, sow the seed, where the grown-ups be, till we terminate. Don't die, germinate, improve, but become great. Take flight, birds of a feather together in aviation. Be formation, one piece, one love, so gifted, unlimited, always remembering. Rhymes universal, networking with musicians, and wake up and do it again. Making sure the message in the music and it's moving up when we
got a gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Better not babysit, take a sip, with this. Gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Buzz flow, spit rhymes, hung on from my stone. We got a gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Better not babysit, take a sip, with this. Gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Buzz flow, spit rhymes, hung on from my stone.
We're all actors in this, I know. Young man's ready to rumble, sing like a bumble, be bad, bimbo, finna be better, do what cool breezes do. Swoon units come together, 2 minutes, deploy the drop squad. Ain't us, nay another fellow brick go in the wall, all at epic rhyme rhetoric, look like a wit, the better it flow wherever it go. Sever the nose, devoid of funk, what more could you want? This the Southpaw, far with crooked laws, contorting them catalogs involved with sabotage, money, power, got it all live record. Check it, this won't take but a second. No respect in malicious investments from when I stepped in the Western Waco. Bricks hits Legos, Euro pound pesos, El Camino Negros. No stars and bars, no heart for Southern heritage. I'd rather it remain gone with the wind. We got
a gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Better not babysit, take a sip, with this. Gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Buzz flow, spit rhymes, hung on from my stone. We got a gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Better not babysit, take a sip, with this. Gang of cannabis, take a whiff, take a split. Buzz flow, spit rhymes, hung on from my stone.
What more could you want? This the Southpaw. What more could you want? This the Southpaw. Wake up and do it again, making sure the message in the music and is moving up when we
got a gang of cannabis, take a whiff, hit this split. Better not babysit, take a sip, with this. Gang of cannabis, take a whiff, hit this split.
Making sure the message in the music and is moving up when we got it.
She wanna chill in California. Yeah. She wanna chill in California. Yeah. Take it to Rio, I do that for ya. Girl, you choose Barcelona or Italia. My baby, Esperanza in España. Yeah, we might get low, yeah, we might get low.
Froneradas, bada, don't acaba Google to street quick fast. Yeah, listen to some vacation. Take it easy. It's tempo sussando, velho, sa sustena. I can afford to give baby waiting. Ever since she smoked on the caliber, all she talk about is Californication. Khali, I'ma play right now, Californication.
I've seen it all, but when I baby, you be gold. It shine. Catch me in California with a haze, with some weekend warrior. Yeah, we take no luggage, yeah, we got no man. When I chill in California, yeah. Take it to Rio, I do that for ya. Girl, you choose Barcelona or Italia. My baby, Esperanza in España. Yeah, we might get low, yeah, we might get low. Yes, I know. You wanna go to LA? Let's just go hit the mall. Tell me, do you wish for more? Show me when's I.
Hey yo, what's good, people? This is Primetime from GCM, and y'all are listening to Smokin Rhymes with Rex 45 and Big E. Let's go. Brah.
Oh yeah, back at it again. Slim, J. Tron here. Oh man, y'all got a nerve out there. Blaming Mary Jane for all your downfalls, your pitfalls, and whatnot. You ought to know better, cause if you knew better, you do better. We stay with it out here, baby.
You took someone home after the club, gave it up, and in the AM they made you feel like a slut. Don't blame the weed. You knew it was wrong, just admit it. This ain't the first time you did it. Don't blame weed for your indiscretions, imperfections, things in life that you're not getting. You blame weed for all your mishaps. I bet you're gonna blame weed for your bad breath. Go handle that. You said you were high, drinking and driving. Police report said no weed in your system. Why are you lying? You blame weed for your lack of education. If you went drinking and chasing tail, you might not have failed. Keep it real. If you like stink, that's cool. But stop blaming weed for all the bad that happened to you. Telling everybody weed was your gateway drug. Before you took your first puff, you were sniffing that stuff.
Don't blame weed. Don't you blame that weed now. Don't blame weed. It's just marijuana, yeah.
Once again, you're late for your job. Your boss clowns you in front of the staff and lays you off. Either you're too high to play with your kids or not high enough. 7 kids by 7 different women is tough. But if you utilize your high, you'd be surprised. You could get your kids together and have a great time. But you won't even consider the option. You're guaranteed weed to get in the way or something. All your complaints about weed is strange to me. It's been here helping people out physically and mentally. You are the epitome of a habitual liar. You lie about weed so much no one wanna hang around you. Your house didn't get foreclosed on cause of weed. You lost your house cause you didn't pay your mortgage. You need to find some driving ambition and stop blaming weed for all of your life's issues.
Don't blame weed. It ain't nothing wrong with ganja, yeah. Don't blame weed. Don't you even never bother, yeah. Don't blame weed. Don't you blame weed. Don't blame weed. Don't you ever blame that weed no more.
Ayo, Boston, what up? It's the culture curator, John Beatty. Make sure you keep that radio station locked on 87.7. It's Smokin Rhymes with Rex 45 and Big E. Let's go.
Jackie's been here for 25 years, and he tells me you get used to it. Says your nose learns to seal itself when you dive headfirst into an ocean of dust. Your eyes develop nictitating membranes, keep the chemical sprays out, and your hands They will grow their own gloves, invisible and tough and permanent. I've been a janitor for 3 weeks, right? And I thought I was made of stronger materials. We played chess in the break room. Jackie asked me what my favorite piece is, and I say, I guess it's the pawn, right? Because he's the underdog. The odds are against him. And yeah, Jackie identifies with the pawns too, but he sees nobility in their sacrifice. He sees beauty in their simplicity and the fact that they are always moving forward. Jackie shambles from room to room, moving half as fast as me, but somehow getting twice as much done. The night shift will mess with your head like that. Jackie smiles, the saddest face I've ever seen. Sometimes I see that face and imagine that we are the servants entombed alive with the pharaoh, polishing someone else's gold while our oxygen runs out, dutifully preparing a grand feast for a God who will never be hungry. But Jackie says that, there is honor in this, a good day's work, an honest living, that there is poetry in this, but what kind of poetry lives in a can of orange naturalizer? The liquid breath of dragons, the mist dissolves, every word creeping up my throat overwhelms every idea. They got me wiping my reflection from the glass. They got me scrubbing the shadows off the walls. They got me so scared of my alarm clock that I can't fall asleep anymore. Even when the muscles drain out from under my fingernails and my thoughts stream out of my ears and I'm left with nothing but 2 eyes that refuse to close for fear of what they might dream. Is there really honor in this? Or is that abstract concept, the carrot they dangle in front of us pawns to move us across the board? Jackie says you can't think about it like that. He says that without us, the people who live and work in this building couldn't function, that we keep the gears turning, and it might not be glamorous, but it's necessary. And of course, he's right. And maybe I am just like a working class kid who somehow hustled my way into college and got delusions of grandeur. Maybe now I think I'm too good to go into the family business. 100 generations of janitors and farmers and infantry and factory workers and pawns. So I suck it up and last for like 2 more months. And on my final day, before a very uncertain future, I make a point to shake Jackie's hand and I say, I've been thinking, man. I think the reason pawns can't move backwards is because if they could, they'd kill their own kings in a heartbeat. Instead, we are forced to keep moving, believing we can get to the other side and become royalty ourselves, but most likely dying on the way there, sacrifice for a cause we don't even understand. I wish you the best, man. I wish you horses and castles. And Jackie smiles, the saddest face I've ever seen, and disappears into his work.
You're listening to the Smokin' Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
We're on the mic every week with poetry.
Music and that cannabis talk.
Things change.
Yeah, somebody tell Jackie.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man. Poetry is a beautiful thing in general. That's why we talk about it and play it and read it on the show. Lizard Lounge in Cambridge, Massachusetts is working on their slam team this year, Big E.
Oh.
And
did they call you up? They called out the OG, triple OGs?
Well, that's not kind of how it works. You got to show up on your own and compete.
I would assume that you would just send automatic invitations for previous slam champions and then just...
Well, I can't say I was previous. So the National Poetry Slam is an event where folks come from, I believe, Canada and the U.S. It's national, not international. So... I think it's Canada and the U.S. And different, states and cities got poetry venues, and you can put a slam team together of up to, 5 poets. And usually how, they figure out who the poets are. They have slam competitions, and the winner or the second place make it to the semifinal rounds. and they usually like a couple of semifinal rounds. So, and it's usually the max amount of poets in a round can be 8. So it's not like it's 1,000. So, but during the course of like maybe 3-4 months, you can try to get yourself be one of the 16 poets, because usually it's 2 semifinal rounds, 16 poets, and the 4 semifinals from each round. The top 4 go on to the next round, and the top 5 make the team. And that's all based on audience participation. The judges are audience members, usually. So it's always random. And then you get a team, and then you go in and compete in some city somewhere.
So just imagine if you show up, you bring your whole squad with you. Half of your team is judges. Bam, champion.
Well, you listen. I don't know if things are rigged in places. I'm not one for rigging anything. I don't believe in trying to take a shortcut to get there. So, that's not something I would do. I can't speak for anybody else.
One of the judges is like, "Nah, I don't know him," but then they get in the same car and go home.
Hey, listen, man. If you do it long enough, you see things. That's all I'm just saying. Yeah. But it's not for me. It's not like that. I'm competitive, but I also feel comfortable in my own skin, and I feel comfortable in my own words. If I get there, I get there. If I don't, I will say I am in the semifinals.
Hey, my skin, your skin, I'll be comfortable in anybody's skin.
So, we'll see what happens, and go,
So are you saying that you are entered?
Oh, yeah, I'm entered and officially in the semifinal. I made it to the semifinal rounds.
Oh, Kung Fu. Your Kung Fu is better than that.
So we'll see what happens. But there are a lot of other venues that are doing the same thing, and going to to try to get there. So we'll see. So one of the top 16 is not bad. I'll take it.
Yeah, could have jumped into the spotlight and competed on the national slam team.
Right, no doubt. So so there's a round this weekend coming up, and then there's a round I think at the end of the month. So I'm at the end of the month.
Will we be announcing the dates so that people can attend if they so choose?
Oh, sure, yeah. It's going to be the 8th. This Sunday is the first one. I won't be here. And the next one is going to be, I believe it's the 29th, the last Sunday of the month. Or the 28th. I'd have to pull up the calendar and double check. But either way, yeah, folks can definitely come out and check it out. And it's always good to support poetry venues, no matter where they are in the world. You know what I mean? Because, it's, I think everyone should write, whether they're just journaling or have a diary or writing poetry or writing rhymes or writing a story or whatever. Because it's a good way to get rid of all that the things that are inside that are negative.
Especially when people have low communication skills. You need to, manifest yourself through words.
Right.
Works well.
No doubt. So, yeah, man. So, definitely listen to poetry, write poetry, read poetry. I realize it's I don't want to say it's a niche market because, a lot of folks generally are not into poetry, but I think once they listen to it and check it out, they probably would be. Not every, don't get me wrong, not people, everybody, a lot of people write poetry, and for sure, there's all types. So, what you may hear or a venue you may go to, it may not be something, the words that the poets are reciting may not be in your wheelhouse, but, go check another venue out somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And see, because like people talk about everything.
This is true.
You
might be talking about your mama. Well, we would hope not.
Hey, listen, hey, your grievance is out. Hell, you might be talking about your mama. You know what I'm saying? A good way to get whatever, whatever knot you got inside.
Get your issues out.
You know what I'm saying? That's always a good thing. Speaking of, getting things out. How's the working out coming out? How's the training?
It's doing good. Right now I'm at a calisthenic stage.
All right.
But I'm trying to up it.
Okay.
And I'm trying, I want to go to the gym, but I know what time of year it is.
Oh yeah.
I know who's in there. I know what they're doing. The dude that's sitting on the machine for 45 minutes looking at Instagram, he did one set. And I know what's in there right now.
They're taking their shots and,
Man, look.
they're posing and they're flexing.
It's the fashion hour. You know, the girls with the triple spandex with the pleats in the butt and you working out? Or you just trying to distract us? What you trying to do? And God forbid you say something.
You don't approve of the outfits?
No. And please, your water bottle does not hold the machine when you're working on 6 of them.
Yeah.
I'm famous for kicking, so I would just throw your stuff to the side and do my workout.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not holding no spots. And if you want to fight, there's too many weapons at the gym, man. Just let it go.
Let it go.
Just let it go.
Well,
As a matter of fact, that might be the workout you need. Go ahead, get in a tussle, and then just leave. Enough.
Got my workout in. Lost a couple of two.
Definitely. You're surprised how you be throwing weights around at people when stuff happens. But I'm not suggesting any violence. Let me back that up.
Just I haven't been since the pandemic. Probably even before the pandemic, I've stopped going to the gym, and I've just end up buying weights and doing my routine that works for my body, at my age and what I'm trying to achieve. Riding a bicycle, that type of thing, and stuff like that.
Just like smelling like Ben Gay by yourself.
Exactly.
Nah, well, I find that.
So I don't. But I'll let you finish. But I don't know about that life that what today's people are wearing at the gym and that whole I got to capture these moments and stuff like that. And I see people online that post videos of working out, and if you track these people over 6 months, it looks like they put on weight. Instead of
you gotta up your protein intake.
Instead of like get defined and we're working out. If you're not seeing results in like a few weeks.
But this is different. You know what? You might feel stronger. You know what I'm saying? You might lift weights. You might not shed extra weight. You might not change your diet, but you still feel stronger.
Right, that's what I'm going to say.
At that point, they might just be like, well, I feel stronger, but you look bigger than you did before.
Yeah. So, there are a lot. I think there are a lot of people posing. From what I can see on social media, I think a lot of people are just getting their photo shoots for their pages and stuff like that and not really working out. And that's a problem because, it's all fine.
That wasn't DJ Khaled for Weight Watchers. I ain't seen that. Man, look.
You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say I'm not trying to knock anyone, but I think there's excessive people who are just doing photo ops and wearing gym clothes.
Look, it's 2023. I'm not calling anybody obese. I'm not calling them fat. All I'm saying is be healthy.
Yeah.
Please
no
be
doubt.
healthy.
No doubt. And that's why I say that. It's like at the end of the day, it's great to do these photo ops and video ops or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, bang out them sets. You know what I'm saying? Get your body to where you're like, if you want to have a certain amount of definition, get your body there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you have problems standing up out that chair, maybe you should work on that muscle.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the older you get, the harder it becomes. And it's all great to if I'll say this, if you're 30 plus and you're not taking your health seriously, look around and look at the 40 plus and look at the people who ain't working out. You know what I'm saying? Look at the 50 plus and look at the people who ain't working out. And if you think you're not going to end up being one of them by not working out and eating healthy, you think you're just going to stay this way forever? Well, good luck to you. I'll be in my makeshift gym.
Y'all better look at your high school pictures and stand next to it. If you can hide yourself, your old self behind the new you, then there's an issue.
Yeah, so that's all. It's great. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to knock it. We're never trying to knock anyone on the Smokin' Rhyme show, unless you're a public servant and you're not doing your job.
Just an idiot, boy.
Then we'll knock you. But we're definitely promoting the health and take it serious enough that you're always getting better. You're never gonna stay. You're not gonna consistently be a robot and go that route. You're gonna have ebb and flow for sure. But if you're 30 plus, you gotta get your cardio up.
You better slap ebb and slap flow. They both getting in your way. It's all about warm-ups and stretches, brothers. Warm-ups and stretches.
No doubt. You're listening to the Smokin' Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
Let's get some music.
Definitely.
Life I feel. I'm still excited. Know what it is. Never say die until the bones are rot.
It's Flexi, the king of sound.
Vibe on it. Yeah, I got a good life to leave my mind on it. Them dreaming, bullying when my eyes on it. Cash, I'ma stay awake all night grinding to see. Keep believing, vibe on it. Yeah, I got a good life to leave my mind on it. Them dreaming, bullying when my eyes on it. Cash, on it, mission, money, chase, many eyes on me. Looking up to see her. All my stories mentioned, oh. How serious into fight on. Life it be like high tension, oh. I got to strike like a python, The story of my life as I carry on. The goody, be goody like a stallion. Oppression when they do me, make me carry gun. But I say no, bad man never die young. I be bad soon, killer, I'm a murderer. Right hand pillar, I'm a stronger than. See, I be bad, good child, I'm a better than. No loud gang, do you understand? Do you understand? Everything starts from nothing, and nothing be to becoming something, or something, never to becoming nothing. Exactly, nothing will go for nothing. Vibe on it, yeah, I got it. Good life to leave my mind on it. Them dreaming, bullying when my eyes on it. Cash on it, mission, money, chase, many eyes on me. Looking up to see her.
The king of sound.
Cuffs on my left and chains on my leg, pulling out through dark storm, pains in my head. And I know the Lord knows those be laughing with me, but they want me dead. Man, them are evil, few of them still good. Loyalty becoming a thing impossible. I too like mula, and I know feel like malaria. If I know feel buy, reason why me taking life slowly. Rastafari blessing up daily. Trade butter for money and fame. If I sell my soul, waiting again. Everything starts from nothing and nothing. Fit to becoming something or something. Never to becoming nothing. Exactly, nothing will go for nothing. Ooh yeah. Everything starts from nothing and nothing. Fit to becoming something or something. Never to becoming nothing. Exactly, nothing will go for nothing. Vibe on it, yeah, I got it. Good life to leave my mind on it. Them dreaming, bullying when my eyes on it. Cash on it, mission, money, chase, many eyes on me. Looking up to see her.
Yeah. Times get hard, keep your head up. My young outside, he won't let up. Say he ain't going in till he get that bread up. All they wanna do is get that check up. Young in these streets got no option. Bring that bag in, we gon' get it poppin'. Look, 24/7 got the door knocking. Yeah, 90 days straight, we gon' really lock it. Yeah, once I get it going, there ain't no stopping. Yeah, couple bad got them lip locking. Yeah, bags in the trap and they strip swapping. Yeah, tryna add up all the shit I'm copping. Yeah, brothers in the trap serving amphetamines. This ain't no rap, I had everything. Get it A1 and I sell it clean. I ain't playing with my nose, I'm smoking hella weed. I ain't nickel diamond shit, boy, we selling peas. Every blunt I roll with the loudest, you can smell it's me. Every song I'm on 1,000 bars like a melody. Every time I'm outside in these streets, we ducking felonies. Yeah, got 100 shots for my enemies. Acting all sick in the head, I got the remedy. I know you ain't talking about no paper. You telling me I can show you how to keep it player. Bill Bellamy, you the type to wife up and data. Boy, you you hella weak. I'm up for 7 days, no sleep, like I'm on ecstasy. These b****s on my dick, I feel like Kodak, I can't roll in peace. I feel like Dwayne Wade in 06, I gotta hold the heat. The air's kinda thin up in this, somebody roll the weed. Ain't rockin' with these, don't know who the f you supposed to be. I won't let no thotty close to me, that's not your to keep. She for the streets, this chick with me, a dime piece. I'm cooking up a 9 at least. I'm getting high, trying to find some peace. We get money, that's fine by me. Got good dope and that's all I need. I'm in the club, I got no ID. I'm on the couch and I'm VIP. I'm smoking out the whole piece. She looking like a trophy. Been with me for the whole week. I ain't nickel diamond shit. Boy, we selling peas. Every time I'm outside in these streets, we ducking felonies. I'm up for 7 days, no sleep, like I'm on ecstasy. I feel like Dwayne Wade in 06, I gotta hold the heat.
Twerk best. Shorty working off a 30, that's a perk set. Baddies running around his bitch and they shirtless. Couple throwing ones, KT made it rain on them. Do say in my cup, designer shirt got a stain on it. Bounce it off the floor. Love when you do your thing on it. Chiller bugging, thugging. He pouring the champagne on him. I got money on a thick bit. Getting money off the floor is how she get rich. Up the couch just while I sip. Put the camera on the baddies with the did. One night with a shooter, jugging out the Uber. CVs in the trap, probably smoking up the hookah. All this money in the air, you can tell I ain't a loser. Bounce a set, get off the chair, come outside, I'll shoot ya. She gon' bust it down, yeah, shake that. Where all the bad with the cake at? Drop it down to the ground, yeah, break that. Get your money, baby girl, yeah, take that. She gon' bust it down, yeah, shake that. Where all the bad with the cake at? Drop it down to the ground, yeah, break that.
Show me you was born to be a vixen. Fourth quarter, let me see if I can score in a minute. Girl, this shooter got you busting on the floor in the kitchen, and you know it's free, nigga. Stop ignoring your neck. All that, got my hands on it. If you win it, I might have to put some bands on it. Bend down, touch your toes, put the cam on it. And you can have this whole bottle if you stand on it. Ain't no hope I ever needed, ain't no I try to keep. If you ain't fucking me a D, hope you don't plan to go to sleep. All this money ain't for nothing, baby, make me a believer. And J Money coming with us, cause your bestie is an eater. Shake it like you mean it, put this D on you, no defense. But if Zip don't approve you, then you just might have to. I'ma only say it once and I ain't blowing up your spot. But if your nigga ain't a shooter, he the one that's getting shot.
She gon' bust it down, yeah, shake that. Where all the bad with the cake at? Drop it down to the ground, yeah, break that. Get your money, baby girl, yeah, take that. She gon' bust it down, yeah, shake that. Where all the bad with the cake at? Drop it down to the ground, yeah, break that. Get your money, baby girl, yeah, take that.
Yeah, excuse me, gorgeous, do you mind? Excuse me. Just wanna borrow a millisecond of your time. Just 1 second. Couldn't but notice out the corner of my eye. I see you, baby. I mean, you look radiant, how you shine. Oh, can we exchange numbers? You can hit me up. We can go for dinner, but can you pick me up? First, I'll hit the barber, he'll fix me up. Baby, maybe later you can screw me like a sippy cup. Just know I bring nothing to the table. I'm sorry. This shit, I can barely cover the cable. So if this waitress dish stinks to fix her fucking lips by the tip, or this drink when I barely took a sip, no. I ordered the free water. By the way, I got a son, another son and a daughter. I still live with their mama, but I'ma leave you out it. I don't want any drama now. Did I mention I'm between jobs? Need money in my Bible in between Psalms. Probably had a nerve to ask you for your key fob. Couple other things about me I can read on. Like, we only kick it at your house. Truthfully, cause it's either that or my mom's couch. But no worries, I'm right back to this job apps. And you could be one of my references contacts. And with my first check, we hitting the strip mall. Couple fly things I picked from the thrift store. But wait, till I can cover my bases like kickball. I got nothing to offer, but baby, this is yours. I bring nothing to the table. Bring me 2 checks, cause me and this is splitting. I told her get the crepes, she ordered a shrimp plate. Check so high, I thought it was a mistake. They had a nerve to have an attitude, cause I did it. Hold the door, pull up a fucking chair when she's sitting. Comment on her hair, looking good when it isn't. Far as I'm concerned, a nigga handling business. The one time that I had your bath already, the $10 card I got from Massage Envy. I went to Walmart for chocolate and strawberries. You thought I was ordinary, but on contrary, not. I bring nothing to the table. I bring nothing to the table.
When asked why I listen to music where they scream so much, I tell them there are days when I choke on my own voice and my words are unreadable through tears or night sweats or bone bruises or silence. And I need someone else to scream them for me. The louder, the better. I say it's because my RA wouldn't let me leave his room. His hands pressed bruises into my arms. He wouldn't let me go. And with that, he pulled down my pants. And with that, he pulled down my trust. He pulled down authority. He pulled down the walls and the flagpoles, pulled down the plans and the years, pulled down the tuning, dropped it, pulled straight and narrow off its tracks, pulled pickets from fences, whites from eyes, pulled what's the point of this shit from the post holes, pulled my eyelids up at night, pulled them down in intimacy, pulled the doors open like, please leave the doors open, I'm just more comfortable with the door left open, pulled the curtains on the sun, so I pulled open cans. Pulled open bottles, I pulled from cans, and I pulled from bottles, I pulled from bottles, I pulled from bottles, I pulled down my jaw. I pulled and plucked, honesty won't stop pouring from these pulled down dams. I pulled the dusty sheets off the box of knives like abracadabra. You can't disappear, you can't hide in the smoke or the mirror. Stop sawing assistance in half. So I pulled the hair on the sides of my head. I pulled the sleeves off my t-shirt and my jacket. I pulled down, punk is dead. I pulled down, you're too old for this. I found salvation in a straightener and a hairspray, in bloody fingertips cradling a guitar, and survival flung from my vocal power chords. I left a part of me that was my choice. That was mine. That he couldn't pull down. Left a part of me that was my choice. Was mine, that no one could pull down. It was my choice. It was mine, and no one could pull it down.
You're listening to the Smokin Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
Poetry is real.
What an appropriate poem to go into our next segment. Pope Benedict passed away. You know, he was front and center for the whole scandal of moving the molester priests all over the place. And on his deathbed, he wished he would have done more.
Right. Yeah.
Not in the moment.
Not in the moment.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't have that mindset, so I don't know, when these people say they wish they could have done more in situations like that. I mean, yeah, there's a situation where I wish I could have done more in life for myself to make myself better, but not in a situation like that. And, it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? And there are people out there that are, these horrible things are still happening to. And these people, some of these folks turn them into poem and they share it with folks like us and in the world, that you know that these things happen. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, you know, some folks may not even think something like this could happen. A lot of people think, you know, bad things can't happen to them.
Well, everybody got that. Well, I would have did this and I would have did that. Well,
Right.
you wasn't in that situation, so.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. That's the crazy part. Just as crazy as you know what's going on in Washington with Congress right now, and the House of Representatives, and you know you got one person that apparently at least 20 folks in Congress don't want, and you know McCarthy continues to push on instead of doing what's good for the people, and we the people. You know,
we be thinking we are.
We are, as long as we're together. And this is the second time going at this, trying to be the speaker of the House. And you know, this is the second time. And the first time he had to step away, and this time he's fighting for it. And this man is on record of doing bad things, of trying to facilitate overthrowing the government. You know what I'm saying? And you know. But these 20 Republicans are holding out, and it's going to be day 2, and we'll see what happens, Big E.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you throw the car keys to the craziest driver to see what happens. Here you go. Maybe this will work out. No. 9 out of 10 times, he's going to crack your rims on the curb, guaranteed.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. And you know, again, you know, we talk about people doing the right thing. Sometimes you got to know when to step away. And, you know, when your hands are dirty, you kind of got to step away.
Yeah, this is true.
You know, it's like, you know, if you guess, then you're on the wrong side. And great, go do some wonderful things. But, you know, if this was anyone else, and I say anyone meaning Donald Trump, there are a lot of other people would have not got the amount of chances that this man has have. And you think about, you know, people who are elected to be in office and to serve us are colluding to try to rig the game. And the game is already rigged. I can play a poem about it. Might even before the end of the show. The game is definitely already rigged. But to rig it to what ends?
Until they can't rig it no more. What you mean?
I mean, you know, because
keep rigging it.
Like you're already a billionaire. You already got billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
How do you keep billions of dollars?
Listen, man, you're in your 70s going on 80. Come on, you ain't got much time left. And maybe that's what it is, because you're like, I already lived my life. Let me just do some crazy-ish.
Yeah, well, you know, you could just Elon Musk it and buy billion-dollar companies and mess them all up.
Yeah. That's true, too.
Yeah.
So, we the people. Get the right people in office. I'll vote for you if you're doing the right thing. If you're not doing the right thing, I'm not voting for you. It's just that simple. And I know, like, money is involved in a lot of things. And these politicians, you know, they get the money and they got to answer to some people.
Give me my money.
You know, and you know what I mean? So we have to get these people in office without the big money. And you know, do it there.
Yeah, well, sometimes you go from a nice shiny skyscraper to a wooden barn out in the field. You know how the money works.
Yes.
You got to make sacrifices.
Which is unfortunate. Completely unfortunate. You're listening to the Smokin Rhyme Show. My name is Rex45.
Big E.
We on every week. Or we try to be. With poetry.
Music and that cannabis talk.
Let's get into that cannabis talk.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Roll, light, smoke, pain. Roll, light, smoke, pain. Roll, light, smoke, pain. Roll, light, smoke. Break the spinach down in my rollie and I'm scrolling it up. We put the whole 7 in it, you ain't holding it up. Hitting 12 in the lane while we sparking it up. Rexy 45 and Big E, that's who the city show up. But the city been waiting, we been cooking and baking. Planning, putting that cake in, plotting, moving and shaking. LeBron, Steph Curry with the rock, shake the pot. There's some big boss cannabis talk, cultural elevation. Ain't no telling where we taking this thing from here. It's 420 in this world somewhere. Outside, say rolling it up. I know, stay rolling it up. What's up? Ain't no telling where we taking this thing from here. If you feeling me for one minute, West Side stay rolling it up, East Coast stay rolling it up. What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the Pod Cafe. If you ain't high already, then you wasting time. So I got a couple of segments here.
Okay.
Shouts out to my world travelers and my ganja farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing that since marijuana has been legalized, there's been a boost in job opportunities. Right. And these job opportunities happen to be in the agricultural sector.
Mm-hmm.
So, all my green thumbs, my ganja farmers, my vegans, my ITEL soup drinkers who have that green thumb.
Right.
Agriculture might be calling your name. Think about it.
I like the sound of that.
You know what I'm saying? Get your feet dirty,
Wet.
Grow something from nothing. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that means when some Rasta tells you I grade, it really is.
I grade.
It really is.
Shout out to the smoke shop down in Jamaica.
Yes, definitely. And let's not forget for our world travelers, the U.S. Virgin Islands, their lawmakers are sending a marijuana legalization and expungement bill to their governor.
Okay. Governor.
So definitely that's a good look because I personally have yet to visit the U.S. Virgin Islands.
All right.
I mean, I've been to multiple others, of course.
Right.
But it's on my list of things to do.
It's a fun time.
It is.
It's a fun time. I got to visit 2 out of the 3.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's a fun time. Been a while. Like that song.
Yeah, well, I've heard a lot of people move down there.
Yeah.
Nothing like golf course living.
Yeah. Listen, it's like I say, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. We're nearing to the end, and we're in the Pot Cafe, so in general, I've always aligned with being able to do some of the things yourself. Some things you got to pay for, and something you have to do yourself. And if I think in the cannabis industry right now, with all the legalization that's happening, the people that can grow the best cannabis are the ones that's gonna win.
And you would think now that the Massachusetts recreational marijuana sales are about to cross the $4 billion mark.
Give me the weed so I can smoke it.
That I would assume that the amount that is being consumed would push the quality up. At least that's what I would hope.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's what happens when you got, and can happen and probably is happening when you have big money in the business and looking at profit margins and not looking at quality of product. Because there's times that we have smoked bud that they probably should have just destroyed, or maybe
made it edible.
Something.
Saute that in butter and do something with it.
Something, but when it's not burning right, when they got to use chemicals to kind of fix it if something goes wrong, sometimes it's better to destroy that plant than it is to continue to grow it and
kill the virus.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So, and it grows out there like that. You know what I mean? But it's hard to, have it on a large scale because you have to have control environments. That way, mites and whatnot don't come in and
no mold, no mildew.
And take out a whole crop. And so it's generally going to be the smaller places that can deal with that, or some really skillful people that can break it down in rooms and whatever, just to kind of control the environment. But nonetheless, like the person that can grow the best weed is going to get the top dollar. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
that's
the problem is that
if they want it, you know what I'm saying?
The problem is that they're the ones who dictate the price. So, it's already being taxed half to death. And we already know that.
When you say they the one, you mean in the government?
Yes, definitely. The recreational market is taxed so much that if they come out with an actually good product, which I find most medical dispensaries, their labels are very consistent.
Inconsistent, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, inconsistent, and especially with the recreational use.
Yep.
Man, I'm dealing with 30% THCs, and
you're like
not feeling that.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And then once in a while I get surprised, and I'm like, oh man, back in Debo's chicken coop again.
Right, and that's the problem. Even on the first market, I'll call it, right, and then the second market is the recreational and the legalization. The first market, when somebody has good bud, it's gone like in 3 days, right, or a day or two, because everybody wants it, and so there's no consistency when there's good bud.
Well, people know the routine that good stuff comes and goes. So once they sample something good, they run right back and grab it all.
Exactly, and the same thing with recreational and medical. When it's good bud, it doesn't last that long. And the regular stuff, when you look at where again the second market being recreational or the legalization market, right, it is at least you can see when bud is on sale, and if bud is on sale, it's probably not good bud.
It's not moving.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not moving. And you can't tell in the first market, but you know what I'm saying, because nobody's discounting. They're just going to sell their product at cost and just take the customer service abuse that they're going to get from yo this was whack. This I know, man, but you know what it is. I'm always good, so occasionally I still got to move it, right? And whatever they say.
Well, yeah, I've seen some discount pre-rolls, and then I realized why.
Yeah,
they got some type of experimental filters on them and I'm like, man, I'm turning blue here. You got me passing out. So, just remember, you can always unroll, re-roll, pre-roll. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
Sometimes if it just don't work, eat it. That'll always blow your mind.
Something like that. No, but I think that's like, now we have to make sure that these dispensaries are giving us good quality bud, and they're gonna have to eat the cost when they got bad bud. It's and that's the problem with a lot of companies, not just cannabis
that's
company.
What I don't understand. If this testing and regulation is proper, how is it even humanly possible that bad batches are getting that far?
Because I think the
how do they test the THC level? You trying to tell me somebody didn't roll that up at least once and be like, you know what, bro, this ain't it. They don't got a smoker in there to be like, yeah, nah, something's wrong with this.
Yeah, I think they know.
You just chemically tested it and then pushed it on through.
I think they know.
Of course they don't want to waste that product, so they push it on you.
And what I'll say this, like there's places that use chemicals or nutritions or what have you in bud to help it grow and do all this stuff, right? And the general rule of thumb is before the last 2 weeks, you just feed the plant water to flush all that stuff out. Right, generally, and that will get all, and then that way you don't get all the crap that's in there. So, that's the rule of thumb. And if your bud is growing, burning, with a dark ash,
you got that firecracker weed that got the sparkler in it.
There's something not. It's not clean.
It's
not clean. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got good bud, you're gonna have white ash. I'm just telling you, it's gonna burn clean. It's gonna taste good. Yeah. If it look like your exhaust burning rich,
got a little blue tint to it, but it works.
You know what I'm saying? It always comes back to motorcycles, but you know what I mean. And so, just like any other food product or any other product, we want good testing, and consumers got to educate themselves on good weed from bad weed already. But we gotta say something about it. You listen to Smokin Rhymes.
This is Big E for the Pot Cafe.
No doubt. My name is Rex45. We're coming to an end of the show. Definitely check us out on all the platforms: Amazon, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. Check us out on YouTube. Shout out to all the folks that's subscribing to the page. Keep it up. Keep subscribing. Definitely love the feedback. Definitely love the comments that we've been getting.
For sure. I'll be performing live at your mama's house. You already know what it is. Make sure y'all got some good food over there.
No doubt. Every week, You can find us Monday nights. We release a new episode. Just keep tuning in, keep doing it. We're gonna try to keep doing our things, keep giving you good content. Want to shout out all the sponsors: HY Boston, get your HY gear.
Healing Hands Massage.
No doubt. We got new sponsors this year, Big E. We got GoPro this year as a sponsor. We got Motul as a sponsor.
We need FOMO.
We always need more sponsors. We're probably gonna have Woodcraft again as well, so shout them out. And some others. It's 2023, man. We're gonna keep doing the thing.
Big things.
Big things. You see what's going on out there? What you gonna do? Are y'all people ready? Who you gonna look at?
Down in Washington, you got politician, liquor vision, say no ambition. Government should be separated from religion. Careful what you're watching on your television. Money is the most, and it make the big statement. Why the youth man them are beat off the pavement? Whether on the block or the blue collar shop. If you're sick and tired, people, time to fight back. 2019, no unity. What's going on? Here we come, unity. Everywhere you look, yo, assault and battery. Business doing business with bad companies. Destroying thousands of good families. What about the youngins and the university? What about the future of that little homie? We all can't be ballers of that one MC.
Life is all I know. With that I've got to go. Babylon just not show bones. Who feels it really knows it. Life is all I know. With that I've got to go. Babylon just not show bones. Who feels it really knows it.
Gotta escalate, I'm a little sick. Tired of what they tell yo, John Public. Like it or love it, can tell them where to shove it. You ask for liquor more, they say not in the budget. Like the devil.